First, we have to learn how to write a class. So we should know the syntax. How can I write the class? First, you have to write a class, followed by you have to write the name of the class. Name of the class. Once it is completed, you will put the colon. Next, you will start off indentation. Okay. So what does this class contain? Inside this class, you can write documentation of a class. What does this documentation contain? This documentation describes for what purpose you are writing this class. Okay. So this is optional. If you want to write, you can write. Otherwise, you can skip. This is not mandatory, but as a good programmer, you should write the documentation for everything, because we cannot give guarantee that what are the application as of now you are implementing. Throughout your life, you can't work on that programming. So we will migrate to another company. So other developer to understand your program, you need to write the documentation. Okay. So documentation describe the aim of this class. Next one. Here I am writing this notation, but don't write like this. These are the things we are going to write in the class. Next one, we will write variables. Okay. Next, we will write methods. Next, we will write constructors. Next, in class, you can write another class also. That is called nested class. So this everything we can write inside class. So we will understand this concept at the end of this OOPS concept. Okay, but you can write one class inside this one. So to write the class at this position, initially you should know how to write this all. Okay, so now we will go through these all in details. So here, if you go for variables, again, we have three types of variables. First one is instance variable. Next one is static variable, or you may call it as class level variable. Next one is local variable. These all concepts we need to learn in detail. Next one, methods. If you go for methods, again we have different type of methods. First one is instance method. Second one is static method. Next one is class method. Okay, again we have to learn these concepts in detail. Next one, abstract method also available, but we will learn this abstract method at the time of abstraction concept. Next, constructors. Again, we have two different type of constructors. So first one, default constructor, or you may call it as non-parameterized constructor. Next one, parameterized constructor. So these are the things we need to learn. If you understand these all concept well, then you our OOPS concept, our encapsulation is completed. Are you clear? Here variables will maintain the data, methods will convey the functionalities. These both I am going to write in the single unit is called class. This is an example of encapsulation. Now we will start off writing this all in with easiest. We'll learn one by one. So first one, simply I will write one method. I will write the documentation. Next we'll add one by one into our program. So first one, I am writing one class. Yes, class I have written. Next one, I need to give the name of the class. So name of the class is simple. Next, once it is completed, I need to put the colon. As colon I have given. Next, I should give the indentation. So I have given this indentation. Next, followed by I need to write the documentation. How can I write the document? Very simple thing. Just you will put the string type. So you will write either double quote or 3 double quotes. Next, followed by this is my first object-oriented principles program. This is the documentation I have written. Just I am closing this one. This is called documentation. Okay. Next, I am going to write the method. This method is not any different type. Very simple thing. So how did you write the function? Okay, that same way we have to write. So how did you write the function? Def followed by name of the function. So I am writing display is the method name. Okay. So while writing the method, first I am going to write instance method. So when it is instance method, you need to supply one argument. This is the self. I will tell you what is self. How can I know whether it is object or not? Next, I am going to close this display. So I am going to print one simple message like I am instance method. I will tell you why we are calling this one as an instance method, but just simply I am writing this one. So our class is completed. Are you clear? Simply class I have written, which one I have included, documentation section and instance method I have used. How can I say this one is instance method? By seeing this self keyword. Okay. So I will show you this one. Next, how to access this everything we will see. So first I am writing class. Next, my class name is simple. Next, I am writing the documentation. 3 quotes I have written. So this is my first OOPS concept program I have written. Next, I am going to enclose this one using 3 triple quotes. Next, def I am writing, followed by display is my method name. So I should write self mandatory. Next, print I am instance method. Okay, so what is instance? That everything I will tell. This class is completed. Yes. Now I am going to print task has completed. This is the general line. Did I write this one inside class? No. I have stopped the indentation so that my class is completed. Next, I have written the code from this left corner. So this is out of the class and I am going to run. What happens? So you can see only task as completed. Nothing will be print from the class. Can you see task as completed? Yes, this is complete. Very good. Nice. Now, I want to know for what purpose simple class I have written. Where did you write this one? Inside the documentation or not? Yes, I want to print the documentation of this one. So how can I print? So to print anything, we will go for print. And I want to see the documentation of which class? Simple class. So here I am writing this simple, and to know the simples class documentation, I will write it here. So to know the documentation of this one, we use the syntax. The syntax is class name followed by the dot, followed by two underscores, followed by DOC, followed by two underscores. Okay. So this is going to print the documentation of your class. So can you tell me how can I print this line? What is my class name? Simple. So I will write a simple followed by dot, followed by two underscores, followed by dot, followed by two underscores. Next, I will print this one. So print my class name is simple dot underscore underscore. Two times I have written, first time, second time. It is not printing any space between these two. So dot I have written, just I have closed this one. Now I want to run this one. Can you see? This is my first OOPS concept program. Where did I write this one? This is the place I have written. Is this clear? Right. So now, now we have to go for calling the methods. Okay. So here, now we have to call this one. Which type of method it is? Instance method. Okay. What is mean by instance? Instance is nothing but object. Okay. So here, so instance. So here, remember this thing, instance or object, these both are same. The terminology, the way of using this one is different, but coming to the concept oriented, so instance and object both convey same. Okay. So here, I want to invoke this method. To invoke this method, I definitely need to create an object for the class. Without creating the object, you cannot invoke the method which are present inside the class. Okay. So here, see how to create the object. Now class blueprint I have created. This is blueprint. Okay. Whose blueprint it is? One object blueprint, that is O1 object. O1 object I want to be created. For which class you want to be created? For simple class. So that O1 equal to the class name as it is, you have to write it here. Simple followed by, you will put open and close parenthesis. Okay. So this is the way you have to write. So actually, you can see this one as a simple, this simple. You may call this one as a class name, but it is not exactly class. This is called constructor. Why I am calling this one as a constructor, I will tell you while teaching the constructor concept. But this one is the constructor. So what happens? This O1 object is created. This O1 object belonging to the simple class. Yes, once it is created, what can I do? I can call this display method. How can I call this display method? Very simple. Using this object O1, I am going to call a method which is the display. Okay. Next one. We have to supply, do we need to supply argument? No need. For self, you need not to pass. In previous case, while working with the functions, if you write any argument at here, that value we have supplied. But when you have self, you need not to supply. Why we need not to supply? Because what is the object you have written it here? This O1 is going to be represented by this self. Are you clear? This O1 and this self, these both are same. Self is nothing but current object. Which one is the current object? O1 is the current object. Are you clear? So this O1 and this self, these both are same. I will show whether these two are same or not. Okay. So here, to invoke this display method, what can I do? I need to create object. So O1 object I have created of which class? Simple class. Right. Next, what can I do? I am going to call this display method. So O1 dot display I am writing. Now what happened? It is going to be invoked. Let us know what is the output we will get. So here you can't see any output for this one. Nothing will be printed. Next, O1 is going to call this display method. So I can see one message as I am instance method. Next, what happened? This printer, which is going to print simple.doc. So this line is printed. Next, task as completed, you can see. So output is I am instance method. This is the first OOPS concept program. Next, task as completed. Let us see this program is executing this output. Yes, can you see? I am instance method. This is my first OOPS concept program. Task as completed. Yes, this is working fine. Next, what can I show? This O1 and this self. These both are same. I need to prove. So simply what I am doing, I am removing this one. Now I don't want to disturb you with these multiple messages. So here, simply I am printing what is O1. Okay, even I am removing this task as completed. Now let us see what is the output it is showing. I won't call even this display also. Okay, right. When I run this one, can you see this main object, main dot simple object? So here, what is O1? O1 is object of which class? Simple class. Where it is present? This has created at this address. Did you remember what is OX means? OX means hexadecimal representation. I said this OX at the time of, what is that? Literals, integer literal, float literal, character literal. At that time, I said what is OX. So this is represent hexadecimal representation of your object location address. Now what can I do? I am going to call display method. When I call display method, what happens? This O1 is going to be copied to this self. Now I will print what is self at this place. Print self. Okay. Now what you are expecting? What is the address it will print at this place? That same thing is going to be printed by self. Okay. So I am going to justify these both are same or not. Now I am running. So can you see? I am simple object ABC10, ABC10. Who printed this line? This display method has printed. Or not display method. This display method is called. So this self is this one. Next followed by instance method. Yes, you can see. Followed by you are printing this O1. This is also printing same. So can you tell? Is this O1 and self both are same or different? Are they both same or different? These both are same. Okay. So when self is available, we call this method as a instance method. So what I said, instance and object both are same or different? Same. So here, this O1 is object, or you may call it as instance. This instance is going to be copied at here. so that this is called as a instance method. Okay. Now in coming class, I am going to define this one in different ways. So did you understand how to write display method and how to write constructor, how to write documentation and how to access documentation and how to invoke methods? Yes. So in coming class, we need to add some more stuff to these classes and we understand how the remaining types will be available. Okay, guys, you can leave the class. We'll meet again in the next class. Yes, if you have any doubts, you can raise the question.